I'm Tom, and this is Ming, and we're speed cubers, which means we can solve Rubik's Cubes pretty fast.
And we're turning our attention to some of the world's biggest problems with solutions that you never saw coming.
Because we are
The Solve Guys, back for season 2.
It has been a long...
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's been peaceful. I've enjoyed not having to talk to you every week, but
you have missed it a little bit, and we're back. And it's nice to be back with you, Tom. And it's nice to be back with you guys as well. Today we're solving the problem of bullying.
Yeah, who better than two frenemies who bully each other all the time, right?
I'm sitting next to a big bully right now. This was a listener suggestion, actually, from Daniel. So thank you very much for that. We're going to solve that problem in this episode. But man, oh man, season 1. Are you happy with how the season went?
Yeah, it was so fun. Having so many guests, like I feel like we really got to connect. And with you guys, thank you for everyone who we got Spotify Wrapped emails. We got people saying they love the season.
That it was the number one thing they listened to in 2023. That was so cool.
Some of you maybe were listening a little too much. So maybe that could be a problem we have to solve is podcast addiction. But
speaking of Spotify, I just checked it yesterday, and apparently we've been getting reviews on Spotify. I didn't even know that was a thing.
People review us.
183 reviews, 4.9 stars. Yo!
And I think we know who shaved off the 0.1, like why they didn't give us 5 stars, but whatever.
Yeah, that was me. If you had a different host that you were doing this with, it probably would have been 5.0.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll take 4.9. Apparently, we have gotten a total of 50,000 views on YouTube across 12 episodes. Season 1, 50,000 views. And not just that, on audio, and I see you. Shout out to the people who listen to this on audio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the other places that you get podcasts. 10,000 unique listeners.
10,000 different people.
Yeah, 10,000 different people.
That's awesome.
Across the whole thing. That's completely thanks to you guys. So we just want to express our appreciation to you for an incredibly successful first season.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're a brand new podcast. So thank you for joining us for the ride.
Yeah. Well, we've got a bit of experience now.
Yeah, I mean,
we're second season.
These problems are going to be solved like that now. We have so much practice.
The second season is when you introduce new villains, new plot lines. Yeah, there's going to be some big twists.
Some big twists.
Yeah.
Speaking of big twists,
whoa!
I have one little bone to pick with you from last season.
Yeah, go.
I feel like my solutions were the best every episode, but this whole little, majority vote consensus thing we've been doing.
You were part of the majority.
Look, I think, frankly, there's a bit of bias.
Yeah.
And we need a unbiased, non-partisan sort of new way to decide who wins each episode, who has the best solution.
Tom, I'm going to do something I don't do very often, and that's agree with you.
Oh, okay.
We are introducing everyone a third member of the Solve Guys party. Well, sort of. I mean, they're not actually human, but would you please welcome Solbot 3000 joining us this season?
Hi, Ming. Hi, Tom. I'm Solbot 3000. How are you?
You're pretty good.
Yeah. Good.
I thank you for letting me be part of your podcast, but really you should be thanking me.
Whoa.
If you're wondering, I, Solbot 3000, am a super advanced artificial intelligence who will be listening to all your solutions this season and will decide at the end of each episode who gave the best solution.
Okay.
Happy solving, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
That Hunger Games vibe at the end is a little scary.
You asked for this, buddy. This is scary stuff.
Especially after our AI episode last season. We actually predicted the future that we're not good enough by ourselves, so we need AI to elevate the podcast.
Yeah,
really.
Season 5 of Solve Guys, we won't be here.
The AI will be giving the solutions and deciding soon.
Just Solbot 3000. But there you go. A neutral adjudicator will be deciding, not us. It may or may not be ChatGPT, but it actually is not influenced by us. The AI gets to decide once they hear what the solutions are, who the winner will be. So let's see how we go.
Solbot 3000 has the final word.
Mm-hmm.
It's not over to the Solbot 3000 sings, as they say.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It is AI gets to decide. Yeah. Hey, in the last 5 months since we concluded season 1, just really quickly, what's been happening in your life, buddy?
Just, reveling in my peace without you. And
Yes.
I've had some Rubik's Cube competitions actually.
yeah.
So for you cubers that are listening,
Yep.
we went down to Melbourne
Yep.
at the start of this year. I had Brisbane Summer just on the weekend.
Yeah, that was
The
fun.
other weekend with
was
you.
good.
So no.
Mm.
I've just been enjoying the new year. My ins were less Ming. No.
Yep.
No. My ins are I want to come back to this podcast and just basically fix the world because I think the world needs me. So, who better than Tom?
And you're right. The world does need you. You've also been clicking away at that camera.
Yes. I've been doing some freelance photography and videography stuff. So cool to see some stuff that I like fully wrote, directed, edited.
wow.
Not like on the big screen or anything, but on Facebook ads getting pushed back to me by companies. I'm like,
good.
that looks actually kind of decent.
Wow. So I might have seen some Facebook ads that were shot by you, and I didn't even know.
They're the really
That's
bad look. No,
Nah, they're really good ones. Yeah.
And what about yourself, mate?
I've just been sleeping here. as you know, so
true.
I've just been bumming at your
I was
house.
wondering what that noise was at night.
Just was pretty bored over the last few months, so I just decided to get 1 million subscribers. So that was one thing. Just,
whatever. No big deal.
It wasn't a big deal at all. Christmas and New Year's was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Got to see fireworks with the family. That was pretty good. Christmas is always a big time for me with like carols and everything. So I was part of church's carols and organizing something pretty big for the community. That was a real highlight.
That's nice.
Just fun seeing carols and just hanging out with people.
People being happy and sharing that
good.
love and joy. That's the Christmas
It
spirit.
was excellent. Yeah. But hey, 2024 has brought new problems, and we're not called the Solve Guys for nothing.
No.
So let's get into today's problem.
Let's solve it.
All right, the problem, bullying. Tom, when you think of bullying, okay, apart from me, who's the like classic bully that you think of?
It has to be like, that Diary of a Wimpy Kid sort of vibe where there's that kid on the playground and he's like, ew, you touched the cheese.
Yeah.
You have the cheese touch.
Just classic.
Just kids being silly, right?
Yeah. For me, it's Biff from Back to the Future.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Biff.
That's the classic.
And the descent, his ancestors as well. Biff Tannen. Oh, man. There is a bully in probably every single movie, every single story. It's just a thing. It's a trope. It's a stereotype. But unfortunately, it's just too real, right?
Exactly. All that art is a reflection of,
absolutely.
of the real world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I asked my kids, what is bullying? And they actually had an incredible answer. So shout out to education for teaching our kids. So because I was just like, is it just being mean? And they said, my kids literally said that. Bullying is repeated, it's targeted, and there has to be a power difference.
Really?
Yeah, they said those three things.
I'll believe you.
Yeah. So apparently, because, if it's just a bit of a one-off, we want to help our kids sort of see the difference between like someone's being mean, they made a bad choice, versus like, hey, this is bullying. Like we need to
over and over.
We need something about
to one specific person or group.
That's right. Yeah. And there's even definitions that I found on like the Australian Human Rights Commission.
Yeah, wow.
And so they reflected what my kids said. They said bullying is when people repeatedly and intentionally use words or actions against someone or a group of people to cause distress and risk to their well-being. These actions are usually done by people who have more influence or power. So that's the power differential.
Yep.
Or who want to make someone else feel less powerful or helpless.
Yeah, which in school could be a kid that's bigger or more popular.
Yep.
Or even in the workplace, your employer, or higher up, someone that is belittling you and coming from that power imbalance.
Or even someone who's just physically bigger.
Exactly, yeah.
In the workplace or just older. And so there's that sort of power difference there, and it's repeated and it's targeted.
Yeah.
So examples, of course, you've got, just constant teasing. There is harassment that's based on like a variety of factors: race, gender, religion, disability. That's a big one. People get picked on for that. Taking advantage of power over someone, like we mentioned before. There's also face-to-face bullying, but obviously that's not the only type.
No,
right?
We've seen recently online bullying, cyberbullying.
So much cyberbullying.
Pretty much since the start of the internet, hey.
Yeah. It's actually insane how much goes on. Bullying and the thing is, it comes at a huge cost. Bullying makes the victim feel feel terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
and that sort of, like you said in Back to the Future, that generational thing
that's
is
right.
actually real because,
well, you see it modeled,
it
and then it continues.
we have to get our behaviors from someone, and then that insecurity or lack of self-esteem causes the next person to pass on the bullying, right?
Or the worst thing is when the victim starts to feel like it's actually their fault.
Yeah, when it really has nothing to do with them. Hey,
Yeah, like they deserve it. Like, they actually deserve to be bullied. It's like, that's not true at all. I will say that this episode might bring up some things for some people. We're going to deal with it in, a logical, but also a bit of a lighthearted way.
Yeah. So obviously, trigger warning and
with bullying. But hey, we're going to try and have, a good and fun discussion with this in the Solve Guys way. But let's try and fix this problem. All right, Thomas, what's your solution?
So I've been thinking long and hard, as I always do.
Always.
And, I've been bullied myself. I think that, sort of schoolyard thing is unfortunately very common.
Sorry to hear that, bud.
Yeah, still sometimes.
By me?
No, but I think the main thing, we don't want to take all that on yourself, all that pain yourself.
Yes, that's true.
As Bill Withers once said, lean on me. So I think more what he was trying to say was like, bully me,
What?
We can share this load together. So if you just pass it on, bully the next person. We all know like multi-level marketing schemes work great. So I'm proposing
I'm not sure what
a multi-level bullying
forward
scheme
means. That okay.
Yeah, they say pay it forward.
Hey, why don't you think about the solution a bit more? I'm going to go first with my solution.
Sure, just cut me off.
I'm pretty sure Tom's joking. My solution, which is infinitely better than that one, is if you are being bullied by someone, you want to respond by confusing the bully.
I have heard that before.
Mm-hmm. So you want to disarm the bully with something unexpected. So, for example, if someone says, Look at your hair. It looks like a baby cut it."
Then
right?
you say, "At least I'm not bald." You pay it back.
No,
Okay,
you
sorry.
don't.
Sorry, I'm not following. Sorry.
So
Continue.
if someone says something like that, so there's this educator and specialist in bullying called Rachel Downey, and she says, "Why don't you say something like, you know what? I actually don't really like my hair either right now, but I really like yours.
Where
Where did you get yours done? Right? So the thing is, the bully is not expecting that.
Yeah.
It's not expecting a compliment.
Definitely not.
It probably won't make them be like, "Oh, thanks.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Hey, let's be friends." But what it'll do is it'll interrupt their script.
Yeah.
It'll interrupt just the flow, like the process of bullying, the expected response. So
they'll have to go back to the drawing board. They might hit you with like a whatever nerd and
that's
walk
right.
off, but it will diffuse the situation.
That's exactly
for sure.
right. You've disrupted the process. Another thing you could do is just to acknowledge their comment, but without arguing with them. So, thanks for your opinion. I'm going to go now. And then you just leave. Don't play the victim. You're just staying calm. You're speaking assertively. You're not raising your voice. And you just,
you're just like, thanks for the constructive criticism.
I'll
write that down.
See you later.
Okay.
Yep. So
interesting.
Yeah. Do you think that could work?
I think that could work. Do you want to like maybe play out a scene?
Sure.
And see if
do you want to tease me with something?
Okay, I'll be like, what's the classic? Hey, Four Eyes, nice podcast, loser.
Yep. Guilty as charged. I'm Four Eyes, all right.
Why don't you, how about I break those glasses and shatter them? Because you're a nerd.
I can tell you where I got these glasses from. And I actually have the world record for world's thickest glasses. So,
yeah, whatever. And then I run off, and that's the situation done. So
and he just leaves. Like it's awkward, it's weird, but it disrupts it, doesn't it?
Who else does podcasts like this? Who else is in the field just like testing it out and
just bullying?
Pretty much that's like clinical evidence right here that your strategy works. I don't know why I'm helping you, but whatever.
I mean, I will say bullying is very complex. Like there's a variety of reasons why bullying happens. And so I guess in some ways it's not a one size fits all. But it does, like I said, it short circuits the process, right? Because often when someone bullies, the reward, I guess, from it, they may not be thinking this, but what the reward from it is just the result
is building themselves up by tearing you down.
They get that feeling. Yep. of pushing themselves up because they're pushing you down, or like when other people laugh at what they say.
Yeah,
you
it's
get
the
something from
reaction
that.
that's garnered. So
That's right. Also, hey, I'm not the first one who came up with this. So can I reference the first Guardians of the Galaxy? When Ronan was about to destroy Xandar, and then Star-Lord suddenly just starts like dancing, and he starts singing, "Ooh, child," right?
Things are gonna get easy.
That's exactly right. And Ronan's like, "What are you doing?"
I love that. So
And
maybe dance, like break dancing, could be a small.
Not sure about the dance of, but you confuse the bully. Okay, sure. He was trying to
Confuse them.
distract the bully. Like he ends up like killing. Like don't do that to your bully. You don't want to like destroy them. But
So get like a space
confuse
blaster gun. Bring.
that's right. You want to confuse them. I also want to say that how would you use this in the workplace, right? Because we've sort of been using more like schoolyard examples. So what would this look like in the workplace? Well, dotsleadership.com says that there are a few ways that you can maybe not confuse, but like disarm the bully in the workplace. So one way of doing it is to actually let them shine. And so since what the bully often wants is recognition, or it might come from a place of like low self-worth, if you genuinely compliment them, if you genuinely like during a meeting find a way to like spotlight them like authentically, sometimes that actually feeds like what they've been craving, and then they're less likely to like take their whatever it is like out on people.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also because you're like it's adult to adult. Once it's it's in the workplace, it's different from 2 8-year-olds like quarreling. Apparently, saying something like, so if someone says something mean to you, saying something like, you know what, that almost sounds like a put down.
Yeah, calling them out on their behavior.
Calling out the behavior.
Which you should be able to do to an adult, right?
That's right. It might actually just be what diffuses it, because it's like, it's funny to be raising that, and then they might actually like, whoa.
Especially if it's like a subconscious pattern that they have, that they're not even aware.
That's right.
That they're bullying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could full on just be like, actually, Tom, say something mean to me right now.
In the workplace?
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, that's terrible work you're doing, nerd.
Tom, you don't seem to be the type of person who would hurt people for no reason.
Well,
is there something going on?
I'm a lover, not a fighter. And then you start singing "The Girl Is Mine" by Michael Jackson, and then that confuses me. And
that's right.
I don't believe it.
And then 3 years later, we're married with kids.
Exactly.
That's how it starts.
That is how workship relationships start. Is bullying.
No. By the way, if you think that bullying or teasing is a way to get someone to like you, right? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
There's just a freebie for you there. I don't know why. Like a lot of like little like boys, it's sort of like stereotypical like teenage boys think that like teasing the girl is the way to like get their attention and to like impress them and stuff. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's really gonna like you if you just make fun of them constantly.
I know it's awkward, like the interaction, but like teasing is not going to work. So just be nice. Just be yourself.
Knock it off.
Just be nice. Wow. This is not just like bullying advice, but full on relational, how to get a life partner advice.
This is the Soul Guys experience, solving your life, nerds.
One problem at a time.
Hey Ming, here's a problem. There has to be a bunch of people listening that don't think that they can solve a Rubik's Cube. What would your solution to them be?
The solution, I think, is easy. Just give it a go. I have a bunch of puzzles in front of me right now that I can solve, but just a few years ago, I didn't even know what they were. But do you know what my first step was? I went online to dailypuzzles.com.au and I ordered myself a 3x3 speed cube. One thing led to another. I now have a 2x2, a 5x5, a Megamings, a Pyraminx. I even have a rabbit.
What is this? All of these puzzles and way, way, way more are available at dailypuzzles.com.au. They have fast, helpful customer service, ship internationally, so no matter where you are, you can order your first cube today.
Not just that, they've given us, just for our listeners, a special discount code, SOLVEGUYS. If you put that into dailypuzzles.com.au's checkout, you're going to save money. And who doesn't want to save money?
It's so simple. So thank you to Daily Puzzles for sponsoring this episode. And now back to the video. That was a great solution, Ming.
Have you got a real solution for us now?
Yeah, I do have a real solution. I was just joking before because I'm a jokester and this is a comedy podcast. But, we're getting into a more serious, tender sort of conversation now. So,
the tender side of Tom.
I'll give it to you guys. Yep. We've talked about, Ming's talked about how to diffuse the situation, how to, deal with it in the moment as the victim, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to talk a little bit about addressing the core, the root of the issue, why the bullying is happening. Mm-hmm. So, I thought as well, what's my first thoughts on bullying and where does it come from? And a bit of research sort of told me that there's definitely different reasons depending on the situation, the age, But like you said, it generally comes from some sort of place of low self-esteem or low self-worth. And then that power is those people trying to get it, by hurting others.
Yep.
So while I was researching, there was a lot of the experts and the publications, sort of agreed on a few points that are important to bring up early in life, especially in school, right? And it sounds like your kids have been hearing this at school. And I definitely, during schooling, like almost every year there's a bullying talk, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't really see bullying decrease in my time either, unfortunately,
Okay.
So there's definitely, we need a lot more education. Yeah. And so that's the first thing that I looked at. And
I think that's like, if it's just this guest speaker comes in, but the systems in school don't actually change. If the staff, if the student leaders don't actually embrace it and take that on board, it's just another talk.
It's like the substitute teacher phenomenon where no one actually is paying attention because it's not really a serious part of the curriculum, but rather just, the teachers putting the kids in another room for a bit to fill the time, really, right?
It's a good start, but let's only see that as step one.
Exactly. Let's move further. So, and the main points that, I was looking at were it's helping kids understand what bullying is, that it's not okay or acceptable, and that they should be able to be open and talk about it so that they can get help, right? Because if they can't comprehend or recognize like what's happening, they're just going to feel that pain with no real, understanding why and take it on as if it's their fault, right? So, so the first thing is that, straight away as kids in schools, there just needs to be more awareness of what it is that, it's not on.
Yep.
And the second point that kept coming up was communication. So that kind of leads from, them talking about it. It's that there needs to be this open line of communication between teachers, kids, and the parents, really, right? So that kids can report it. They are being checked on, in the workplace, this happens, right, with like HR.
Yep,
and you've got chaplains at schools and that sort of stuff. But unless we're actively reaching out to kids, they might, not feel confident enough to bring it up themselves at such a young age, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's important across all ages, in the workplace as well.
Yeah.
And then,
I can see like a bullying talk happening in a workplace too.
Yeah.
It's not just something for schools.
Definitely
like
not.
This is something that, people get hurt and hurt people hurt people.
And especially when there's money involved, later on in life, like the manipulation gets even deeper and crazier.
Absolutely.
When it's a business, right? Mm-hmm. And the third thing that kept coming up, which, leads on from what we were talking about earlier as well, is just setting the example. Mm-hmm. So if we start, educating people more in workplaces, then the adults learn about it, set the example for kids. We have to embody those things like empathy and kindness so that we're not letting kids, mirror adults and keep that cycle of bullying going.
Oh, Tom, you're hitting me right here.
That's just obviously not
from the heart.
Yeah, it's from the heart and is what I think. And when I was looking it up, those same sort of points came up. So it sounds like
it sounds like you're sucking up to Solbot 3000.
I'm like,
Solbot is what it is.
I asked ChatGPT what's the best solution to this problem so that I win. No. But those are not like exactly tangible things. Mm-hmm. So I think my tangible solution along those lines is that it just needs to become a part of curriculum, right? Mm-hmm. We have these like separate talkers.
Yep.
The government needs to really fund that and make sure it becomes a part of the curriculum so that it's like an ongoing thing where, kids are having a checkup every month. It's not just one like National Bullying Day a year, right? And then the rest of the year, the bullies come back out of the floorboards and terrorize each other again, right? Because
what school did you go to with all the bullies in the floorboards?
Kids, people say kids can be cruel.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. They can be, but it's not them. They're just kids.
Yep.
They have to learn it from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So let's just all be the best examples we can.
Yep.
And on that note, Ming, I just want to kiss the ring.
Whoa.
And apologize if I've ever, even for my earlier comments about you being a nerd, I don't think you're a nerd, even if you look like one.
Just making it worse. That's great.
Look, despite all of your physical setbacks.
Do we have a Solve Guys HR manager that I can speak to? We've got some anti-bullying policy for Solve Guys in place. So I'm quite sure it was in the contract.
I'm setting a great example right now. But there's no power imbalance between us. It may be repeated and targeted, but there's no power imbalance. So I'm all good.
Well, I mean, there's an existing relationship. That's two-way. I mean, I have heard bullies say like, "Oh, what? I was just teasing." Or
That's my friend.
Yeah, and we just friends. But it's like, no, it has to be mutual.
Yeah.
It has to be mutual.
And I've had that, right, with friends, close friends. You can have a relationship where you tease each other and it's great. And then, some little bit of nastiness creeps in. I've had that, right, where the existing thing was fine. And I've just voiced that to them straight away. Be like, actually, that is like a little too far. Mm-hmm. And maybe because of previous experiences, I'm like, oh, that particular thing like isn't funny to me anymore.
Yeah.
I've brought it up. And it's gone well most times.
Yeah. But even if it doesn't go well, it's like at least you've said something.
You've said something.
And you nipped it in the bud.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is so important. Yeah. I've had similar experiences with people sort of like friends making, like racist jokes and stuff.
Right.
And it's like, okay, you're friends with me. Like, I get where you're coming from. But there is a very clear line that sometimes gets crossed.
Yeah.
And there have been times that I wished I said something. I guess I didn't want to make them feel bad. And I guess it's, different from maybe like repeated targeted, bullying, but it's still inappropriate behavior. And like you said, we don't know who's watching. Like we're modeling, as the older kids, as the adults joke, the younger people in the room, in the area are picking up and learning like, oh, I guess this is how you interact with each other. I guess it's okay to make, a very subtle racist joke because they can take it. And it's like, maybe it's not, maybe it's not okay. So if they see someone actually standing up for themselves and being like, that wasn't okay, what you said that was too far, I think that's good modeling for kids to see.
Yeah, and that just goes to my point of open communication for everyone. So I think that's the main thing, and that's my solution.
All right, well, Solbot 3000, I hope you were listening because we're going to have to hear from it.
And I just want to say, if Solbot doesn't give me the W right now, it's rigged and it's not coming back for the next episode. Just letting you guys know.
This will be a one-episode season.
So, it's about that time where we go to Solbot.
Oh, wait. Do you hear that? Tom? It's the sound of a Rubik's Cube.
I said it's about time that we go straight to Solbot.
Season 1 ended with the world's biggest cliffhanger. No one knew who the better cuber was between Tom and I because... Actually, I mean, you beat me.
I won every single episode, so
but still, I didn't get my chance to prove my worth, and so I challenge you to a duel with the Rubik's Cube, and with a twist this time. Since I clearly had some issues with solving this two-handed, what if you solve this one-handed?
I solve it one-handed.
Okay, fine. We both solve this. Yeah. We both solve this one-handed.
Now, just for you guys who don't know, our times one-handed are actually a little bit closer than our two-handed times. At least that's what Ming thinks. I'm guessing that's why he challenged me. But
you're going down, buddy boy.
I think this is going to be pretty easy for me as well. So you might have to go back to the drawing board after this one.
Yep. All right. Cubes courtesy of Daily Puzzles.
Yes. Thank you, Daily Puzzles, for these amazing Rubik's Cubes. Wow.
Thank you, Daily Puzzles, for enabling the win that you are about to see.
No.
Yeah. And it was a monetary prize, right? Like if I won, you're going to give me like $100 or something. Trip to Disneyland?
To Disneyland, you can keep crashing here at night.
Wow.
Is as far as I'll go.
No, the last episode, I'll be in Disneyland.
You'll be solving Ming's Disney addiction.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in trouble, boy. You are in trouble. Wait, what? Yep. No, that's good. Come on, fingers.
Oh no.
What? Oh no, I messed up my
I messed up my OLL and PLL.
I fully messed up my...
I'm done.
I would have totally have beaten you.
No. You guys...
I completely would...
Can we cut that? Let's cut straight to me finishing really quickly. Thanks.
Wow. Wow.
So-
No. I'm feeling the W come. What? It's very soon. It's gonna be in one of the first few episodes.
Even when you're going to beat me, it's like the universe just messes you up because it knows that I deserve. I'm
my
the better,
faithful
the better
fans,
Rubik's Cuber.
All you guys who have been in Team Ming from day one.
Stop. Do not comment Team
Let
Ming.
us
Do
know.
not.
Team Ming. We are the underdogs. I stand for those of you who feel like life has been bullying you.
I have
you and
login.
me.
I will be personally banning anyone that comments Team
Wow.
Ming in the comments.
That's targeted, my friend.
And if your team
It's repeated.
Tom, rate us 5 stars on Spotify. And if your team Ming, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
So that's the new rule that you have to do.
Anyway, you win this one, Tom. But it is time to hear back from Solbot 3000.
Let's see who
see
if I can win twice in one episode.
This is scary, but here we go.
I hear.
Whoa.
Hello, Solve guys.
Hey.
Solvebot 3000 is back to decide who gave the better solution today.
Uh-huh.
My decision is final, as my intelligence is several dimensions beyond yours. Even if you tried, you will never come close to its magnificence.
Bit of
Both
attitude.
Ming and Tom offer valuable perspectives and potential solutions to address bullying, each focusing on different aspects of the issue.
Yep.
Ming's solution is creative and tactical, aiming to disrupt the bully's expected behavior by
Yeah, it
agreeing
was.
with them and diffusing the situation
You wrote
quickly.
that, I
This
know that.
approach can potentially catch the bully off guard and de-escalate the conflict.
It's
On
completely
the other
chat
hand,
GPT.
Tom's solution emphasizes preventive measures through better
Yep.
education and
Yep.
open
Yep.
conversations about bullying.
Fair
By
enough.
raising awareness and fostering a culture of intolerance towards bullying, Tom's approach aims to nip the problem in the bud.
Yeah, yeah.
While
This beat,
choosing the
though?
best
This
solution
beat?
depends on the context and specific circumstances.
where this is
in this
going.
case, Tom's solution stands out as it addresses the issue at its root, potentially creating a long-term impact on the school or workplace culture. Congratulations, Tom.
No!
You win the first episode.
Let's
Solvebot
go!
3000 over and out.
Oh man, I almost missed me winning because I was just getting so into that beat, and then I just heard congratulations to Tom, and so thank you, Team Tom.
AI
Shout out.
likes your answer better.
I'll take that W. I'm just first episode of the season, back to winning everything as usual.
Yep. This is what you've been missing, right, from your
But
life.
I think the real winners are the viewers who get to watch us.
The friends we
talk.
made, the solvers we made along the way.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We're back, new season. We got huge
Woo!
guests coming. Not even kidding. Huge guests,
Like
coming.
huge.
like
Yep.
huge, and huge problems, huge solutions, and just more episodes coming soon. So stay tuned.
Exactly right. And thank you as well for this example of a problem from a listener. So if you want to suggest things for us to solve in upcoming episodes, comment if you're watching this on YouTube, but also solveguys@tingman.com.au. We read every email, even if we don't always respond.
No, we read them
but
all.
we do actually read every single email, and we appreciate all your kind words. So
Yeah. So let us know if you have a problem you want us to solve.
Mhm.
And other than that,
Yep. That's one problem down. I did want to end by saying again that if you are actually being bullied, it's really important for you to know that
Yep.
it's not okay, and that it's not your fault. If you're a kid or a teen, tell a trusted adult. Or you can even use, like in Australia, there's the Kids Helpline, which is a free number that you can call.
yeah,
You
we'll
can
put the
find it
number on the
online
screen here
as
and
well.
down below.
For adults, most workplaces will have like some sort of complaints procedure that you can escalate the problem. And if things are really severe, I think it's more than reasonable to involve the police or authorities.
100%.
This
Yeah.
is serious stuff, yeah. But hey, that is one problem down. Plenty to go. We are going to fix the world one problem at a time.
And for today, it's the Solve Guys bullying
Problem solved.